What's up, everybody? It's Bear with BearIndependent.com. Chilly day in the barn. Yep. Logistics wins wars. And that's the primary reason in my mind. Well, there's a couple reasons, but one of the primary reasons in my mind why the militia from my cold, dead hands, those people are going to die in SHTF. Now, we need those people, asterisk, caveat. We need that spirit. We need that skill set. But that spirit and that skill set needs to be disciplined and well organized and well trained. Squared away. A well-regulated militia. Not meaning regulations, meaning squared away. And that's not just, I got all the extra mags for my AR, and I actually even sharpened my knife, and I put a new CR 2036 asterisks unicorn battery in my Aimpoint T97 999er. Whatever. Dude, shut the up. That's not what I mean. I mean disciplined. Like, can you do the things that you propose to do? But I digress. There's two things that are going to kill those boys, other than the enemy. And statistically, it's not the enemy, whoever that enemy may be. It is logistics, or lack thereof, and disease. Logistics and disease. It is estimated throughout the course of humanity, so, since jump, since the Father, the creator of the heavens and the earth said, let it be, and it was, or if you're, one of those guys, or until, the Big Bang happened, and then particles were flying through the vastness of space, and then somehow they slowly started slowing down, coalescing together, and clumping up, and they formed some type of relative gravity because their mass was coalesced, and then more and more things clumped up, and more things clumped up, and then eventually we had clouds of gas, and those clouds of gas coalesced into stars, and somewhere we got planets from, and then they started spinning, and then they collided into somewhere, and then we've got some type of liquid water, and then somehow we got, branched chain amino acids in the liquid water, and then maybe lightning, I don't know where we got an atmosphere from, but then maybe lightning hit the water, and then the amino acids somehow turned into deoxyribonucleic acid, aka DNA, and then that DNA somehow got inside of single-celled organisms, and over trillions and bajillions of years, those single-celled organisms evolved into monkeys. And then those monkeys one day were like, you know what, I've had enough monkeying around, I'm going to be a people now. And then they turned into people. And then millions and millions and millions of years later, we walked out of caves, and then we started killing each other in droves. And that was the birth of modern warfare. One or the other. Either the Father said, let it be, and it was, or all of that horse shit. One or the other. I'm clearly biased. I also clearly, are you paying attention? Don't care. I don't care. Bear, you hurt my feelings. You make your video on your channel, and I'll come hurt your feelings over there too. Sound good? Cool. So, since the dawn of humanity, people, when we've been engaged in killing each other, which is a thing that we do, it's a thing that we do. It's like when grasshoppers go from grasshoppers to locusts. It's actually because of an excess of serotonin, and then they swarm, and then they destroy everything. I wonder if there's something, I digress. It's estimated that 2/3 of all combat-related deaths throughout the course of humanity have come from disease and starvation. 2/3. It's not the bad guy killing you. It's disease and starvation. So that means that really we got three things we got to worry about. The bad guy, disease, and starvation. And you see, I'm not smart, and I'm nobody special. And the fact that I know this, and apparently the vast majority of the militiamen that I've run into don't, does not bode well for them. And so, if that's you and your multicam plate carrier right now, fondling the front slide serrations on your Glock 43 or whatever it is you're running, pay attention. That's only 1/3 of the challenge right there. The bad guys. Logistics win wars. What are you going to eat? Where are you going to sleep? How are you going to communicate? And by the way, I know that we have so many GWAT veterans these days. Likely to be that this is not a mechanized infantry situation. Welcome back to foot movements. And so you probably don't have enough stuff on your Gucci war belt to close with and destroy the enemy. And you probably got too much stuff in your bug out bag because you never use it. And there's probably not going to be trucks or very few trucks. The prioritization of trucks is not going to be to throw your rucksack in it so you can drive down a road that you don't control so that you can get ambushed by an enemy who gets a vote, who gets a say in this matter, so all your stuff gets destroyed anyway. Guerrilla warfare, partisan tactics. You're going to be walking around. Where? Walking to where? On what boots? Do you have socks? When was the last time you got a chance to take a shower? What rations are you eating? Do you have clean water? And no, we might not be towing around the water buffalo because, again, is it a permissive or a non-permissive environment? If it's guerrilla warfare, we're probably living and working amongst the same people that want to kill us, like the patriots and the loyalists of the American Revolutionary War. It's a lot more complicated than I'm going to put my plate carrier on and stand over here in the corner with my AR-15 and look tough. And we're going to control this city. This is our city. It's ours. You can't come in. You think your city is a homogenous group of people? Are you aware of who's even in your city? Have you done an area study? Do you have an intelligence network? And I don't mean to keep beating these dead horses, but these dead horses are going to be beating you if you don't get on top of them and take control of the situation. It's way bigger. See, that, and maybe that's my frustration. It's way bigger than most people want to think that it is. And to the extent that they can even acknowledge that it's way bigger than they think that it is, they won't actually do any of the stuff that they can't do in their mind. They can't do it, or it's uncomfortable or not easy for them to do. And so they just devolve back to my plate carrier and my AR-15. I'm going to go do something about it. Okay, cool. And frankly, the lack of planning makes you a less than formidable foe. You're the JV team. A little bit of training, a little bit of coordination. It's easy to take you off the battlefield. Hell, I might not even have to fire a shot. I just starve you out, deny you access. I can destroy your logistics. Or I can engage in, a traditional favorite of the white man. By the way, I am Native American. For all you First Nationers out there, go ahead and call me a colonizer. You can also kiss my white ass while you're at it. You're just jealous of the fact that I'm a quarter Native American and have this luscious beard. So, and somebody asked me, oh, does that mean you're on the doles? Nope. I'm an entrepreneur, son. I don't need money from anybody, Uncle Sam or the chief. I'm good to go. Thanks. Smallpox blankets. Disease. The other third here. The bad guys, starvation, aka logistics, and disease. Because let's say we are engaged in partisan tactics, which is very likely going to be the way this goes down. If you think that people are going to be lining up like regulars on a battlefield, you're out your damn mind. There's no field hospital. I guarantee if you don't know, if you haven't thought past your 4 cases of MREs. That's how you're going to supply your militia or your mutual assistance group or your team or your whatever, your offensive community watch group, whatever you call it. If your battle plan there is plate carriers, rifles, and MREs, and that's the extent of the logistics that you've done thus far, I guarantee you don't have a field hospital. I can also guarantee you that you're not going to be admitted to anybody else's field hospital, at least without making major concessions, probably being disarmed, and perhaps imprisoned as well. I would never do that. Well, when your son catches a round through the thigh inadvertently because your tactics suck, and now it's starting to rot, and he's getting blood poisoning, and if you don't get him on some broad spectrum antibiotics right now and potentially even amputate that leg, are you going to turn in my AK-47 super badass, mega powerful? I don't care. And you won't care either. Now, of course, the tactic there is don't have all your eggs in one basket. Sure, you can have that AK. Sounds good. Ding. Right. Prepositioned caches, operational caches. We talked about that on Patreon quite a bit. It's also in the Prepper Classroom here on YouTube. But you're going to be denied service. There's people being denied service right now in free countries, Western civilized countries around the world because they didn't do those 2 things and that other thing. And you're telling me as a partisan warfighter, a guerrilla, as a militia member, that they're going to let you just waltz into the hospital to fix you or fix your son or your wife that's been gut shot? Negative. You got to start thinking, dare I use this phrase, start thinking like a warlord. Maybe you like the term general a little bit more. Start thinking like a general. What resources do I have at my disposal? And men and women are very important. They're huge. It's a big part of the resources that you can bring to bear. But how do you feed them? Where do you house them? How do you close them? Can I even dig a latrine? Can we do just simple earthworks? Simple earthworks. How do we channelize? How do we control access and egress? What does our commo look like? Do we have a field medic? Do we have a doc? Anybody? Is he supplied? Did he get a stomp bag from refugemedical.com? Yeah, I know, shameless plug. Sorry, our shit's made in America and guaranteed forever, and it's better than anything you can buy anywhere else. Go buy a My Medic and see how well that works out for you in Civil War 2.0 or Revolution 2.0 or World War 3. That's fine. Run around with that My Medic kit. That's cool. That eye wash is really going to help you when you're bleeding uncontrollably. Maybe a couple of Band-Aids could fix that for you. Oh, you got a rat's tourniquet? Cut it in half, throw it in the trash. That's all it's good for. Sorry, I'm a little salty this morning. I like my bear meat with some extra salt early in the morning. The bad guy, which you need to have your intelligence spun up for. You need to do your area study. You need to build your network. The logistics of much more than I'm going to throw some MREs in a truck that I may not start, or I might not get fuel for, or I may not be able to drive on the roads because the roads are controlled. And the enemy, starvation, aka logistics, and injury, death, infection. It's infection. Broad spectrum antibiotics, and field hospitals, and who's your doc, and who's equipping your doc, who's training your doc. How many guys on your team in your mutual assistance group or your militia are even stop the bleed qualified? Forget combat lifesaver or austere medicine. Just stop the bleed qualified. That have a tourniquet and know how to use it. Is that asking too much? And know how to use different. Look, here's a soft tea, right? A red soft tea. You know how to use this? I'm only trained on the cat. Well, trained on the cat is good. Do you know how to use one of these? Blah, 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 blah. You see my point here? And this is why I use, perhaps the clickbaity title of something along the lines of, why militiamen will die in SHTF or in the American Revolution 2.0 or whatever. Because it's way bigger. It's way bigger than putting on your armor, grabbing your rifle, and going over here and doing this thing. And if you don't treat it as if it's way bigger than that, frankly, you're a disgrace to the men that you assume to lead. Because you will get them killed. You will get them killed. And their blood will be on your hands because of your lack of preparation. So what are you going to do about it? The three main threats. The enemy, starvation, aka logistics, and infection. If you're paying attention at this channel, you know we can help you with all three of those. If you're not, if you're new here, probably can't help you. And if I gave a damn, now would be the time where I'd say, click the subscribe button, ring the little bell icon, sign up for the newsletter at our website. Things are getting more serious than that for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. I never liked the clickbait shit to begin with. But I don't think it's time to, roll the credits and stick an ad or 5 for my own shit at the end of my videos right now. Because it's an important subject matter. I don't really want to profit off of that. Y'all know where to find me. We'll leave it at that. You know where to find me. Start thinking about not just the security aspects, but the logistical aspects and the field care, healthcare aspects as well. That's what kills people. A lot of people survive being shot. You should research what's called the golden hour. If we can get you to competent medical care within the golden hour, in many cases, you'll live. But if I'm the bad guy, I'm not allowing you to have access to my competent medical care, or my food, or my roads, or my fuel, or my commo, or the population centers that I control so that you can recruit. No, man, it's warfare. Y'all should start treating it as such. It's not LARPing, it's warfare. Bless y'all. Shalom.